Here we go. Let's get this pod started. Ryan Clark and R3G are beefing because Ryan Clark said RG3 has been talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and Ryan Clark took it upon himself to say, you know, he had his opinions, and basically what he said about
documentation on that. Go ahead.
I wish I had what Ryan Clark actually said about RG3, but basically he got to the point of saying, hey, you don't value black women because you have a white wife. Fair or foul?
That is not what he said.
Oh,
but I'm happy that that was your response. That makes our dialogue. Basically, what Clark was saying was RG3 is a cornball.
Oh, yeah.
And outside of that, it's not the fact that he does not value black women. He was stating that he's one of those guys, as we know, that get with a white woman.
Yes, he
and
said
now
that
they
second.
kind of play that.
I'm going to the first statement. I didn't get there yet, but yes, that is the third one. And that's what I really want to get. Matter of fact, we can skip all this shit. Let's get to there. We know black men who fetishize white women.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
But what was that first statement? Because I didn't see the first statement. The statement I saw was just...
Well, that was Ryan saying that to him, like RG3, because of his wife, he always, you know, and he hinted at, your wife, the way you talk about your wife, you might not value black women the same. Yeah. RG3 got tight, which if I'm him, I'm tight too. Don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about me and the way I see women. And I tell people this all the time. One of 50's my favorite quotes from 50 Cent is, don't fight over a woman that a nigga is willing to kill you for.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
And I guess the angle that I looked at it, because I thought I listened to the whole RC clip, but what he was saying was, and I understand when we see this when people get with, just when they're not a black woman, it's like they automatically, I mean, you know those guys, they automatically always downing. So that's how I looked at it, and I honestly thought that he had a valid point, because according to these tweets, what he said, you know, RG3 tweeted, you know, Super Saiyan Milkman. This is in 2024. 2023, he posted a picture of his wife, and he says, the doctor says breast milk is the best milk. Post Malone concert with my tall glass of milk. Cookies and milk. Hashtag National Milk Day.
I remember that tweet. Because that's when I was like, this nigga is sick.
So I just saw it as RG3, and we don't know these people. We're just commenting on it. But I just saw it as he just comes off as somebody that does get out of touch based off of who they're with. There is a lot of I read Twitter today and I got a fucking headache, but there is a lot of responses saying, but you know, Ryan Clark has a mixed baby. Yeah,
I don't think that girl's mixed. I found her mom. What, Ryan Clark and his wife?
Yeah.
All three of those are their kids.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna say this. I believe, well, it's not that I believe, I know a couple of kids or people. I know one kid and two people that were darker and they got lighter so much. One kid he's actually albino now.
Okay.
Like literally. He went from brown skin.
Yeah.
Now he's my complexion with blonde hair. That does happen and it's rare.
Gotcha.
I don't think that's happened with that girl, but she gets lighter as time goes.
Gotcha.
But every report that I found is like them, she and all the kids' pictures.
Okay.
I think that woman's
that's
whatever. And I try to look up like Ryan Clark's baby moms, and the only thing that ever comes up is that wife.
That's just the wife.
Because they met in college, and they've been together since then. So unless he got a
baby,
maybe he Dwayne Wade. I don't know.
About to say,
you know what I'm saying? But
could have had a break baby, but
so I look at it like this. I'm with Ryan Clark. I think it's weird when people, me as a person who's married to a Puerto Rican, I don't talk down on black women because I don't.
Yeah.
Because it's not like she's the only person that I've dealt with that wasn't black.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would hey, the one time out of the 10 times that you did something, why are you letting your 10% kill the other 90% of decisions you make? Nah, it don't work that way. And I appreciate that my wife encourages, supports, and make sure that I'm 10 toes down in my blackness. Yeah. So I'm not going around. I don't do that on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hell, only thing I do is call out Hispanic people. And then I blame it on having a Puerto Rican wife. But, you know, I look at that. RG3, one of them corny niggas. Yeah. He really is. And, like, we could tell by them haircuts he used to get, the way he acts. And he has some highlights, but it is the fetishizing of your white wife that's weird.
So are you confirming that you feel that RC crossed the line? Speaking of his wife? Because I only saw the respectful angle. So I'll do my research and try to see what else he said. But I just thought that he was just mentioning her, and because he even said his wife is a very nice woman. I've met you.
Yeah.
She's a very, very nice woman.
I think his first initial thing was cool, but you can't be mad when a nigga jump out a window for a woman he willing to kill for. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Especially when he love milk.
Some niggas we don't even got milk commercials no more. I don't know if they put that shit in school no more. They used to give us milk for field day.
He 10 toes down on it still. Since then.
He dipped in it. He wished.
Covered.
I do know black people, we got to start having conversations about the black people we know who wish they was white.
Do you think they wish they were white? Or do you think they just were raised in such close proximity to whiteness that that's what they
I think some black people don't like being black.
Okay.
I've ran into
I can see that.
I didn't run into it.
I can see that.
They here.
I don't have. They here in Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Charlotte.
I could bring them on the podcast. But I won't.
You bring one of the podcasts like they used to do back in the day on the shows and just be a dark screen so they can't see their face.
Ooh, one girl, I remember I made the joke.
Change the voice.
Let me tell you, damn, I said she was a girl. One girl, I told her about the other person.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, can you believe this? And she was like, oh yeah, I wish too. I was like, bitch, wrong answer. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh God. I'm like, and then here go the other thing. She was like, life would be easier. I get that.
Yeah.
But I hope y'all do know on the rankings of like wealth and shit, like white people is like number 3 on the list.
No more.
Indians and then Asians.
I was about to say it gotta be Asians because them boys run a bag up, bro. Them boys gonna run a bag up.
They keep it within.
Keep it. They keep it within, man.
Yeah, and they only married within. But we don't talk about that.
And this is not a race pod, but like I said last time I was here, people have a code, and I respect that.
Me too,
and especially if it's not in a disrespectful manner.
Yeah,
I'm not saying F y'all, but they just have a code. I can't fault for sticking to it.
Before we go to the next thing, I remember when I worked at High Life, and they owned by Indians. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, and they used to go home for weeks. It used to be cool, but I remember one time. One of the dudes showed me like a girl on his Instagram. I'm like, damn, she fine. So then my algorithm started sending me the shit. And I was sending it, he kind of looking at me like, nigga, you ain't never get one of them. And they were bad too. And I was like, I respect it. Like, y'all got
my man said, hey, keep dreaming.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming.
And don't you think, because this shit ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. But Anyway.
But show us that verse. I mean, you not on the market. Anybody who's watching this podcast, hey, shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot
wherever you want to go.
Please go.
Wherever you want to go.
Natives versus y'all transplants.